started so I can keep this to 30 minutes. This is week 3 of our Belief in Business series. I'm loving it, and I hope you guys are loving it. I will tell you, though, that this stuff is only going to work if we actually do the things, right? So it's great to hear it, to talk about it, even for myself, but we have to do it. So welcome back. Give you guys a shout out for being here. Tanya keeps trying to get in. If anyone's chatting with her or messaging her, I'm admitting her to the waiting room, but then it just says she's joining. So I don't know if she's having some issues on her end, but welcome back. Today's a good day because it's Star Fruit Guava Day. I mean, even Brittany, who doesn't like Star Fruit Guava, was super excited about it. So put an S on the chat if you snagged some, because I want to have a super fun Plexology happy hour once all of our orders come in, where we can make super fun cocktails and mocktails with our different actives, because I know we have a super fun list of them. So today, though, I want to recap what we did last week in our belief series. Okay, so you should have made a list of all the ways you've been successful with Plexus. And if you haven't done that, that's okay. This is, your own notebook. You've got time to do it. And you also can add to it as you think of things. Because I think immediately when we think of all the ways you've been successful with Plexus, we might think ranks or paychecks or incentives or prizes, but there's other ways too, like reconnecting with building relationships, maybe even losing weight or quitting smoking, or it doesn't necessarily have to be all business, but this list is going to help build belief, right? You also should have written down 25 people that you have been blessed to you've been able to bless because of Plexus. Okay. Yeah. So even if you just watched last week's before the call, that's fine. I really want you guys, though, all of us, to do the work. Meaning, when you watch it, then do this in your notebook. Make the list, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mute though real quick. You guys can unmute yourselves. But you should have a list of people that you've been able to bless either directly through Plexus, like maybe you bless them because they got a paycheck. Maybe you bless them because they don't have migraines anymore, right? Or maybe you bless somebody because you were able to pay for someone's lunch behind you in line at Chick-fil-A. Or maybe you were able to buy more angel tree presents this year at Christmas because of your paycheck, right? So write all that stuff down. And then you're also making that list from last week of 25 more people or more ways you want to be able to bless someone with Plexus, right? So I want you to put in the chat how making those lists kind of made you feel, if you want to share that. And then throughout the next few weeks, we are going to refer back to those lists. We're going to refer back to the 7 ways you add value to your Plexus business anytime you find your beliefs starting to waver. Okay, that's why I want to make these lists. We're going to refer back to them. Because here's the thing, in order to keep that success, right? In order to keep that feeling, oh, there's more people wanting, we have to help those people, right? We have to help those 25 people. We got to help more people, 25 more and 25 more and 25 more, okay? So to do that, though, in order to bless those people, we have to build a business and we have to set goals. We talked about this a little bit last week. If you hesitate on goal setting, I certainly have, I think a lot of us have. Why? Okay. Why are you hesitating on setting those goals for your business, right? Why don't you want to build a business? I've had some people say, well, I don't want to build a business. I love Plexus. I want to help people, but I don't really want to be a leader, right? Why? Is there some shame in it? Is there some embarrassment? Maybe you're like, oh, maybe you're still not completely sold on network marketing. That's okay. I was there. I was kind of still a little bit embarrassed, right? Maybe you don't want to set big goals because there's some fear. Maybe you're afraid you won't hit it. Maybe you're afraid you'll fail. Maybe you're afraid you'll get overwhelmed. Maybe you're afraid you'll neglect your family. Maybe you're afraid you'll get burnt out. Whatever that fear is around goal setting and building a business, I want you to write it down, because you can't overcome it. We can't move past it if we don't even identify it. Okay. So if you're comfortable sharing in the chat, go for it. But this is stuff you're going to put in your belief notebook. My fear, I'll tell you mine for Diamond, because again, I'm doing this with you guys, right? My fear for Diamond was that a couple of things. Still a little bit of shame around network marketing because I had somebody say something really mean and negative to me, and I held on to it and I internalized it. And then I started playing that story over and over. And then I did have the fear of failure, fear of success. To me, those are so closely intertwined. I think I have both of them, right? If I don't set the big goal, then I can't fail at it. Well, if we don't set the goals, we're never going to reach them. Okay. So that's what we're going to do this week. We are going to get into goal setting. But first, I want to talk a little bit about these kind of belief habits. Okay. We all know what successful habits look like, right? Okay. We all know that you have to do your IPA. If you're new watching this, that stands for income producing activities, right? So scrolling on Facebook is not an activity that'll help you be successful in your business. Sending messages to people will, right? Following up with people, looking at your reports, okay? We all know what those habits are. It's like working out though. I know Amy Morton's on here. You build a muscle, right? By working it not just once, but you work that muscle over and over and over again. Okay, so it's the same with our plexus business. If we expose ourselves repeatedly to something that's difficult or scary, like going live or following up with people or checking our reports or setting goals, it'll get easier and easier until it becomes second nature, until we've built that muscle to it becoming a habit. In psychology, they call that exposure, where you do the same thing over and over, right? But what I want us to focus on is the opposite of that, because the opposite is also true. If you consistently avoid something, okay, like something that's uncomfortable, like looking at your back office reports, going live, leaning into your plexus business, or setting goals, then you will build your muscle of avoidance and that will become your habit. I've been there, totally been there. Okay. If you build the muscle of avoidance, that becomes a habit, and bad habits are hard to break. I am very aware of this. And when I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, I know good habits. I never realized I was actually building a habit of avoidance. Okay. So, how do you break that? It's the three things you're going to do. We all know it. We've heard it. Sometimes it just helps to hear it again or to write it down. Okay. You plan it, you prep it, you perform it. Okay. So you plan it, you put it on your calendar, you set a phone reminder, you tell your business partner, hey, I'm afraid to go live and share my story because I haven't done it in a while. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Okay. You tell someone, you plan it. Okay. Put it out there. Then you prep to do it, which means you want to make sure you're at your best when you're going to do that task. So for me, if it's something scary like sending a message to someone about plexus or going live, I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to put my earrings in. I'm going to do my makeup. I might even say some affirmations or play some awesome music to get me feeling good. Then I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm not going to go live or send a message or do something uncomfortable after a bad day in the evening when I'm tired, when I'm not feeling my most confident, right? Then you're going to perform it, which means you're just going to do it. And you're going to do it again. And you're going to do it again. And you're going to do it again. Because eventually you'll be following up with people. You'll be sending messages. You'll be going live on Facebook. You'll be getting people to silver. You'll be setting goals in your business even without thinking about it, because it'll become like brushing your teeth. It'll become one of those positive habits, right? We won't have a habit of avoidance. We will have a habit of performance. Okay. So I want you to write down one thing you've been avoiding that you think you've created a habit of that you want to break. Okay. You can put it in your chat and put it in your notebook. Okay. Okay. So I'm just seeing some of the chats here. We're going to talk about people who don't, who no longer use the products and that sense of not being able to help them. Okay. We talked a little bit about last week about detaching your self-worth and your business from someone else's lack of self-worth, right? We can only, what's the saying? Lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Obviously, there's things we can do to help support them, but we're going to detach from that. We're going to talk a little bit about that, right? So write down one thing you've been avoiding that you want to break, put it in your notebook. Because here's the thing, we know anyone can be successful at this business with hard work. I believe all of you guys can, whether you have an awesome Facebook or Instagram or not, whether you think you can or you can't, but you have to lean in and do the work, right? You can't lean in, lean out, lean in, lean out, lean in, lean out. I know that. My business is stagnant because I lean way out. And by me leaning way out, I lost my confidence. I lost that belief in myself. Okay? So we got to stop putting a timeline on it, because then I had this timeline like I should have been diamond by now. I'm not. So then there goes the valley of despair that I've just been hanging out in, right? So we're going to focus on the belief, we're going to focus on the work, because listen guys, we get paid a stupid amount of money, okay? And yeah, I could make the same amount of money at another job, but not in my yoga pants. I haven't showered today. Like, not from my couch, not from the beach, not from my home office, not from my phone, on my own terms, okay? So it's not that I'm not successful at my business. It's not that you guys aren't successful just because you haven't hit a goal you hope to be at yet. We just haven't gone for it with the real drive and energy. Or maybe we went for it for a little bit and then it didn't happen. I didn't hit diamond. So instead of just going for it again, because that's just a roadblock, we stopped and we were like, whoa, nope, not going for that again. I'm just going to share plexus and see what happens. And, diamond will happen when it happens. Okay. But we have to get excited about goal setting, because we're going to shed those beliefs. Setting goals does not mean we're going to get burned out. Setting goals does not mean we're going to fail. Setting goals does not mean any of those things we've attached to it or gotten scared of, right? Because really, without a goal, we don't have anything to work toward. We're just like floating around. We wake up and look at our plexus business and aren't really sure what to do. Okay. So we can't be successful if we don't have any measurement or anything to work towards. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. And this might be better as homework. Okay. We can do this throughout the week in the chat. I can do this one-on-one. I can set additional Zooms if you guys want to do this. But I want you to grab a piece of paper. All right. I'm using these super fun Post-it notes. I love these. These are, I actually sent Amy Morton a pack. These are like square 10 by 10 Post-its, okay? And we're gonna start setting goals, and you're gonna set goals for yourself, and you're gonna write it on here. We're gonna do a little bit different, okay? So what I want you to set at the top is I want you to put your goal, all right? Now for me, for you, your ultimate goal, like Nicole on the first call said she wants to be a double diamond family, okay? Well, in order to get there, what do you have to do first? For me to be diamond, I have to re-rank sapphire. So put that on there, okay? What is your immediate next goal? It can be a rank. It can even be a point threshold. Maybe you're like, you know what? Senior gold's too far away, but I'd really like to have 200 points, okay? Or maybe emerald's too far away, but you'd really like to be in the 1,000-point club. Whatever that next goal is, put it in there. For me, it's a re-rank, all right? So I put Amy re-rank sapphire. Put it up at the top, circle it, okay? But then what I want you guys to do before we get into the numbers, before we get into what it actually takes, because guys, we know that, I want you to close your eyes and imagine the feeling you'll have when you see your back office show those points. When your back office says 100 points for gold, when your back office shows 500 points for ruby, okay, 1,500 points for emerald. It has to mean something, okay? And I want you to imagine what that will mean about you and your business. How will it make you feel? Will it make you feel confident and proud because that means less people quit, more people had success? Maybe it means you're a leader because, if you write down senior gold, maybe you're going to have a sharer, okay? What will do for your finances? I want you to write it down, okay? Maybe it means, and maybe it means paying your family's mortgage. Maybe it means you are paying off debt. Okay, and be specific. Is it medical debt? Is it school debt? Is it credit card debt? Maybe you owe money to someone in the family who helped you out. Be clear and specific, okay? No umbrella statements. None of this, um, I'll feel great, I'll be happy, I'll help my family's budget. I mean, that's great, but be specific, okay? Say something like, I will be able to pay for a reliable car to take my son Matt to jujitsu practice and be able to pay for it. Okay? Write that around there. I have it all written down. Okay? I want you to write it down. Okay? I mean, I can remember too, like when I ranked silver and gold, I strutted around like a peacock. I mean, I went out for drinks to celebrate. I was so excited. So if you're saying I'm just a silver or I just want to be silver, stop saying just, because it is a big deal. And if this is re-ranking for the 5th time, okay, detach the shame from that goal. Okay, we're moving past it once and for all, right? So I want you to attach specifics, and I want you to understand that we're all going to have stumbling blocks, right? And we're all going to have problems. The road to this goal, it's not going to be easy, but we're problem solvers. We're going to stop letting those roadblocks mess with our belief, because someone's not going to like our post. Someone's going to think we're scams. Someone is going to quit. Some family member isn't going to like us doing this, okay? But when that happens, we're going to go back to this paper and remind ourselves what we wanted and why today. And then you're going to go back to your list of 25 people or 25 ways you blessed somebody. And then you're going to go back to all the ways you've already been successful. And then you're going to go back to all the ways you bring value, okay? And you're going to remind yourself. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I want to rebrand. I don't know why I want to be gold. I don't know, okay? If you're telling yourself that, you're getting in your own way. You're blocking yourself, because I promise your brain knows why you want that, okay? But you might be shamefully stopping it for some reason, okay? Just let it come out. I mean, maybe it's because I could buy stupid crap and not worry about the budget. Maybe it means I could stop fighting about money with my spouse. Maybe it means I just want to give all my money away to some charity, okay? Um, Maybe it means I could pick up the tab at happy hour for all my friends, okay? Doesn't matter. But if you say, I don't know, you're stopping it, okay? Your brain knows, just let it flow. Brain dump it all out. And then if you got to go back later to make it pretty, you can do that, okay? Emily Gibson shared the other day on something I watched that she, before Plexus, because a lot of people see people at the top of the company and think, oh, they've always been successful. She couldn't afford to buy the Easter ham for her family before Plexus. So they always had to do Easter with her in laws. So she could bring the rolls, but her in laws could buy the ham. Okay. So that is something she wrote down as one of her goals in the beginning. So doesn't matter. But here's the thing, you can't skip this step. A lot of us skip it. I've skipped it. You know, I remember for Emerald, I wrote down all the feelings around being Emerald. I visualized myself on the stage. I visualized driving the Lexus to my family's house. I visualized all those things. I quit all of that for Sapphire and Diamond. I just focused on the numbers, focused on helping my team, but I skipped this step of attaching that emotion to it. And guess what happened? I became stagnant, right? Okay. What if this is the one thing that's missing? What if this is the thing you need to do? Okay. Now, you also need to have some positive pressure around your goal. Okay. You got to have a pain point, because if you don't have a pain point, it's not going to keep you going through those roadblocks and those stumbling blocks we talked about. Okay. My pain point when I first started was my commute. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I wanted more flexibility in my schedule. That was painful enough for me to move and run with my business and let nothing get in my way of that goal. Okay. And I've lost that. I've lost that for myself. I've lost that pain point, but we're going to get back there. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to watch a 2-minute video real quick. Of course, I've got to have it up and ready to share about, and sorry, my messenger's blowing up because there's a crazy person on the Plexus Worldwide Starford Guava post. And so we have been monitoring it all day long. Okay, here we go. I want you to watch this 3 minutes.
There's no positive pressure. What are we even doing here? Because if our purpose is to help people and lift people and help people to achieve and become their highest potential, and part of that is, ranking up, growing their business because it pushes them past their comfort zone. Like, if that's part of our job, there's got to be some kind of cost attached to it. And that is positive pressure. And even when you're setting this goal and you're saying, I've got to do this because of this, that can be a positive pressure and positive stress. Not all stress is bad. When you set this and you think about, man, I've got to be able to do this, or I can't pay my kids' tuition, or we're not going to be able to stay in this house and make that mortgage. Some people would let that be like totally negative stress. And for me, I'm like, okay, that is positive pressure. That is going to make me like stand up tall, get to work, get down to business, and it's going to move you in the direction that you need to go. So honor your investment, obviously, for being here, but whatever you write down on this paper should create a little bit of discomfort, should create it's a dream and it's exciting, but it should also put a little bit of positive pressure on you to go after it and get it. Like, you've got to have some skin in the game. There's got to be something painful enough in your life, in everybody's life, even if it's just simply that my husband controls all the money. I'm tired of him controlling all the money. I just like to make a little bit of extra money. So if I want to go get my nails done, or I want to go to lunch with my girlfriends, or I want to do what I want to do, I really don't like that, but I love him, but I don't like that, then that's positive pressure. That is a pain point or something really just uncomfortable in your life that you're like, I'm done experiencing that. And I did a video on this, or a live on my Facebook page a couple of days ago, where I talked about that. And one of the reasons why I started Plexus and why I really decided to really, really, really do this business. And that could have been on my top line. I am sick and tired of experiencing my life the way it is. I am sick and tired of being basically a single parent and my husband being gone every waking hour. And when he's home, he's stressed out and he's nervous and he's anxious and he yells at the kids because he's tired and exhausted. I'm tired of that. 18 years it's been that way. What year are you going to wake up and decide to make a change? That's what I said to myself. I was like, I can either sit here on the couch and watch Desperate Housewives and Grey's Anatomy and eat my Ben & Jerry's chocolate chip cookie dough and be pissed that my husband's working his butt off, or I can decide, enough. I'm done experiencing this. I don't want to live life this way anymore. So what's a way that you don't want to live life anymore? And let that be positive pressure and positive stress and a fire under your butt and a fire at your feet that gets you going.
Okay, so positive pressure, that is something else you're going to want to write on your writing goal. Maybe you don't know right away. Some of you may have a gut feeling. You may be like, oh, I know exactly what it is, right? So write down the pain point and the feelings, okay? Then we get into the brass tacks, okay? And remember, don't be scared. This is only scary if we're operating from a scarcity mindset. If we're in an abundance mindset because we've built up our belief, you're going to love this. Because when you expect people to quit and you have an abundance mindset and those people quit on you, you're going to reach out to them and you're going to be more able to help them. Okay. If we have this scarcity mindset and we've lost belief, we're going to reach out to people who quit with this desperation, right? And that's when we're like, oh, why did they quit? But we are going to change that because we're building our belief and we're going to have this mindset abundance. Okay. Now, I am just using Senior Gold as an example. Many of you guys have done this before. I bet we haven't done it for a very long time. Okay. Because this is where kind of the brass tacks comes for this, right? Oh, let me see, the chat popped up. No, so there's not a blank tip. I'm going to walk you through it right now. Okay. So you're going to write up at the top what your goal is. Okay. And then you're going to write all the feelings around it and your pain points. I will share mine. I mean, I got to build some savings. I got to take the pressure off Steve. We're in the oil and gas industry. It may not be around in the next 20 years. Okay. And so I am writing all of these feelings and my pain points around here, right? Then you're going to write whatever your goal is. My goal is to re-rank Sapphire. I need 3,000 points for that. Okay. Brass tacks. That's what I need. Don't be scared of it. Write it down. Then you have to write down where you ended your points last month because that's where you currently are. Okay. So I had 2,215 points. Okay. So I need 785 new points to re-rank Sapphire. So you're going to do the same. Okay. If you want to be senior gold, you're going to write down 250 points. And then let's say you ended last month with 110 points, but two people aren't going to order again and they're beyond savings. So you take those out. You need 150 points. Okay. For senior gold, you're going to divide that by 5 points. That's because you're mainly growing in your levels 1 through 3, and you get 5 points for those levels. Now, as you grow higher and deeper, you're going to divide by a smaller number, like 4, 3.5, okay? And then that number is how many you need to grow to get that goal, right? Now, so you're going to write that down. I need 200 new ambassadors on our team to re-rank Sapphire, okay? But then you're going to write down how many are you going to personally recruit, okay? Because if we aren't, why would our team, okay? No one will work as hard for our goals as we will, right? Obviously, okay? So you write that down, okay? And I don't care if you haven't recruited in a year. I don't care if we haven't grown at all. I don't care if we've done nothing but slide back. We're shedding that and we're moving forward, okay? So we are going to write down what we're going to personally do. And then I want you guys to remember you're going to share silver with everyone. You're going to call it something different because silver makes it sound like a business, right? You're going to call it like Amy does great with her referral link. You're going to have them help, the 3 people they love the most, okay? And I've had someone say to me the other day, they actually said, um, is it manipulative or kind of selfish? Like, why are you pushing silver on everybody? Okay. Here's where belief comes in, guys, because that's what's best for them. I believe 100% that it's better for them to grab 3 people, okay, to do this with, because if they have 3 people, there's an 86% chance my person is going to stay on the products long enough to get results. That's what silver does. Doesn't mean they're a business builder, doesn't mean they're going to go anywhere past silver, but you have to have that belief that it's best for everyone. That's why you're going to start cranking out silvers, because you believe it. They need it. Okay. And if you didn't watch our silver method call on the language, you can go back and watch it. This isn't going to be a silver training. But if we really want to help somebody get results on the products, maybe that's your why. Maybe your why has nothing to do with money. Maybe your why was like, I just want to help people. Okay. Well, guess what? You should be screaming to everyone, grab your 3 best friends, the 3 people you love the most, and do this because it's honoring that person's investment, right? It really is. If you're not doing it for the money and you're really doing it to help people, silver is actually the best way to do that. And if you are doing it for the money, which I'm doing it for the money, like that is also the best way to do that, right? Is silver. So listen, I don't care if you have not gotten someone to silver ever. I don't care if you haven't recruited someone for a year. Okay, we're going to stop it. We're going to stop the lack of belief. You're going to write down on here how many people you're going to recruit, how many of those you're going to get to silver. Okay. And then you're going to write down anyone on your team that you're going to help rank. Now, if you are going for silver or gold or maybe even senior gold, you may not have any sharers. That's okay. You can still write names down of people you want to help get those 3. Okay. Now, if you're at a higher rank, you're going to write down people you're going to help. So I'm going to be writing all your guys' names down on mine. And I may even need a couple extra sheets to write down who I'm going to help to silver, to gold, to senior gold, to ruby, to senior ruby, to emerald, right? And then after you do that, and I'll share this in our thread, okay, so everyone sees it. Then I want you to write down 5 to 10 names of people you want to join your team, okay? They can be people you've talked to about Plexus. They can be people you've never talked to about Plexus. I'll tell you right now, there are 3 people that are in my kind of Instagram and Facebook feed that I've never mentioned Plexus to, but man, I think they need it. And I think they would be great at it. They need the products and they'd be great at the business. I'm writing their names down. And I think some people on this call can attest. When you write their names down, you're putting it out in the universe. You can take an extra step and you can pray over their name. You can pray that that person comes to Plexus, gets the help they need for their health issues, right? Just by writing it down and seeing it, I guarantee that one of those people will join you in the next month. Guarantee it. It happens every time. Amy Morton can attest to it. She writes a name down. Weeks later, randomly, she's never talked to the person before. They message her about Plexus. Okay. So write the names down. I'm almost done. Give me 3 more minutes. We'll jump off here. So then you've done that. It's brass tacks. But then it's the mindset, remember, right? You're a problem solver. You can do this. I don't want you to be scared by the number, whether it's 30 or 6 or 3 or 200, because if nothing changes with us today, nothing changes, right? I am not going to get to my goals by just doing what I'm doing now, because it ain't getting me where I want to be, right? So we're going to get better. We're going to do things that scare us. Even if we fail all month long, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want, right? Because we're going to be better tomorrow than we are today if we do something today scary and we fail. If I go do a Facebook Live and I botch it, or I have broccoli in my teeth or whatever, okay, that's better than not doing it, right? I've got that under my belt. I've got more experience, okay? So what exactly do you want to move forward on? You put it in the chat or you wrote it in your notebook. What's that one thing you've been avoiding? What's the bad habit of avoidance that you want to break? Okay. Now for homework. Here's our homework, guys. We're going to jump off here. Okay. We'll chat it out in the team thread. One, you're going to make your goal sheet. Okay. And if you need help, ask. This is like brand new for so many of us. Ask. I'll share mine. And if you're like, Amy, help me, I don't know like the numbers, that's fine. But put your rank at the top and put your feelings around it, okay? And then we're all gonna share it in the team thread, okay? Then we're gonna do one thing to help us build our belief in this company, okay? Because you got to have belief in yourself, which we're working on, and no one can do it for you. Like we got to do the own work ourselves. But I can help you build belief in the products, right? With your testimony, my testimony, thousands of testimonies. I can help build your belief in corporate, and I can help build your belief in the industry. We're going to move into that a little bit. So for homework, I actually want you guys to go to the Plexus Scoop website, just because it's all in one place. It's easier than a Google search. And I want you to read about all of the incredible things that corporate does. So when you share Plexus with someone, you are able to share it boldly and confidently. And you don't doubt for a second that maybe they won't want Plexus. Maybe Plexus isn't that great. Okay. You're going to build that belief. And I'll share my screen really quickly so you can see it. If you go to plexusscoop.com, and we can share this in the thread if you guys find some cool news, because this isn't all of it. But I went to plexusscoop.com and I just keyword searched in the news. And this is all the stuff that comes up, okay? They pay for police dogs. Did you know that? Okay. We're always in the top 30 climbing higher of direct selling news. We're recognized as the best place to work, right? We have a Hispanic initiative recognized by direct selling news. We gave a car away to Feeding America, like all of these things, okay, how we substantiate our product claims. I want you guys to read these things. And if something really, really builds your belief, I want you to put it in our thread, okay? Because if it's helped build your belief, it's going to help build everyone else's belief too, okay? All right, friends. Thanks for being on. I hope this is helpful. I went over by 6 minutes. We will continue this conversation in the chat with our goal setting and our belief and shedding some of that shame, okay? Bye, friends.